Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today we are reviewing Friday Night SmackDown for the 2nd of August 2013. This year's going pretty fast, isn't it? It's already August in 2013, and this is the first WWE show of August, and this is for the 2nd of August like I have already said. Anyway, we're going to do a review of Friday Night SmackDown, and it was in Houston, Texas. So we had Michael Cole and Alex Riley on commentary today, guys, and to be honest, I was questioning why did they pick Alex Riley? They maybe could have had like Renee Young or Tony Dawson, I think he's called, from Friday Morning Slam or something, but they decided to go with Alex Riley. I mean, they could have gone with The Miz, somebody like that, but they went with Alex Riley, and to be honest, I actually kind of enjoyed his commentary. I mean, he got his views across quite well. He had a few stories about some of the wrestlers that were on tonight, and to be honest, it was a pretty good pick. Nice to see Alex Riley finally getting some TV time. I mean, I can't wait till he can finally pursue his full superstar career, because can't wait until he's finally on the roster again, because he's a great talent. Everybody knows this, but I mean, maybe they've just been struggling to fit him into a storyline or something, but I mean, I can't wait till Alex Riley's on TV again in ring, because he's a great talent. Now, the first bit or segment was Alberto Del Rio, and he basically came out and said that Vicky Guerrero had given him the opportunity to choose his opponent for SummerSlam for his World Heavyweight title, and he chose Ricardo Rodriguez. So Vicky Guerrero came out and said, I was expecting you to make an immature decision. So basically building that heel kind of character for Alberto Del Rio. I've said it before, I don't like it when you start with mic work on Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw, because you're already getting off, you're already bored, you're not engaged with the actual show. I didn't agree with the fact that John Cena just chose his opponent. It takes the edge off a decent match. It doesn't feel as... It just doesn't feel as aggressive and engaging. But Alberto Del Rio in the end didn't get to choose an opponent, which is good. We got a very, very good main event. Now, Alberto Del Rio was like, I'll choose the Brooklyn Brawler. But Vicky Guerrero obviously already had plans, and she decided to settle a match between Rob Van Dam, Christian, and Randy Orton. And fucking hell, this match is awesome. I'll get onto this match later on tonight, but Alberto Del Rio, he's in Texas, which has a good Mexican population, because it's just north of the Mexican border, but yet he still doesn't get a good reaction. Yeah, he's still the World Heavyweight Champion, and the opponent that's going to face him at SummerSlam, we found out in the main event, also doesn't get a good reaction, which was Christian. But we've got this match at SummerSlam between two guys who get no reaction whatsoever. Literally, quite possibly one of the worst World Heavyweight title matches I've seen in a very long time. But we get on with the first match. It's Cody Rhodes versus Jack Swagger. Personally, I thought this was a really, really good match. I mean, they're supposed to be putting Cody Rhodes over, which is great, except Jack Swagger was the guy in control pretty much most of the match here. I mean, Cody Rhodes got a great disaster kick, but apart from that, he did not get a lot of offense whatsoever. And I mean, if I'm going to talk about Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro and Zeb Coulter's We The People tag team, now, at Money in the Bank, they had a great showing in the SmackDown Money in the Bank. Yet for the past 3 weeks, they've turned into a jobbers. They jobbed to Daniel Bryan. They jobbed to Cody Rhodes this week. They jobbed to somebody on Monday Night Raw. I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't a very good opponent. You're supposed to be building a good tag team, and they put on a great showing at Money in the Bank. Yet they've turned into jobbers. Jobbing to guys like Cody Rhodes. Yes, Cody Rhodes needs a good opponent so that the opponent can put him over. I know that they're touring in Australia at the moment, but couldn't they have got like Kane or somebody to put Cody Rhodes over? They chose Jack Swagger, who is also very much in need of somebody putting him over. Yet they put Jack Swagger and Cody Rhodes in a match, who both are in need of being put over. But Jack Swagger is forced to job to Cody Rhodes. He's a new tag team. They've just formed, and they're already on a losing streak. The booking tonight was awful. So Cody Rhodes picks up the victory with a roll-up pin. You're supposed to be building Cody Rhodes into this guy who's supposed to be believable to winning the Money in the Bank contract at SummerSlam if we have that match, which is very likely between Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes. Yet, they seem to always fall into the trap of doing a roll-up pin. Maybe to show this unpredictability of Cody Rhodes. But you're supposed to be putting Cody Rhodes over. You're supposed to make him believable. How does a roll-up pin out of nowhere make him believable? At least put him up. I mean, The main event was good, but couldn't they put Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton and Randy Orton put over Cody Rhodes? And then you've got Randy Orton on a losing streak, and then bang out of nowhere, he defeats John Cena or Daniel Bryan using his Money in the Bank contract. Couldn't they have used Christian to put over Cody Rhodes? Couldn't they have used Rob Van Dam? No job damn. No, they decided to put Jack Swagger, a new tag team, to job to Cody Rhodes. And yet he still wins with a roll-up pin, which means literally nothing. Literally means nothing. I mean, the match itself was good, but the ending and the booking was awful. Now, the next match was Sin Cara versus Big E Langston, which is pretty much a typical Sin Cara match. They have the lights down to put all the focus on Sin Cara. Typical Sin Cara, where he's pretty much out of the match most of the match, and usually has about 3 times he comes back where he tries to get the crowd behind him, kind of like Cena, but they do it every time where they try and make Sin Cara come back and get the crowd behind him, but never do the crowd get behind him. I mean, Sin Cara's from Mexico, another Mexican, never gets a pop anyway, still in Texas, didn't get a pop either. He's just literally somebody who's just going to fill the roster. But on the other hand, Big E Langston, freaking hell, he is. This match was actually pretty good to show how good Big E Langston was. I mean, we saw a good match between Big E Langston and Dolph Ziggler, but this match is pretty good as well. I mean, Sin Cara went for the springboard, a 360 flip off the top, off one of the ropes, and Big E Langston caught him and gave him the big ending. I mean, the match was good, but you're trying to build a Big E Langston who's probably going to go into a match with Dolph Ziggler. But if you think about it, most of the fans are going to be thinking, oh, Dolph Ziggler's got this. So what you want to do with Big E Langston is put him up against the guy who's actually means something to the company. I mean, Sin Cara's just a guy who fills the roster. He's never going to be good at promos. His in-ring ability is decent, but the crowd never get behind him. Masked characters never do that well. I mean, yeah, Rey Mysterio did well, but they're usually just guys who fill the roster. Yet you want to be making Big E Langston look believable to actually win against Dolph Ziggler, yet you're putting him up against Sin Cara. I mean, couldn't you have used Randy Orton yet again? I'm trying to think. You could have possibly used somebody like maybe Mark Henry. I don't know. Maybe that's one of their plans in the future. But you want somebody who's going to actually put over Big E Langston. Yet you've got Sin Cara who fails to get the crowd behind him, so it just looks like a meaningless match just to get him on the match card. So it really doesn't do anything towards Big E Langston. Now, for the first match, I'd probably give the match between Cody Rhodes and Jack Swagger a 5 out of 10 because the ending was awful. For this match, the actual in-ring ability was pretty good. I mean, I give it an 8 out of 10. Kind of like the ending between the springboard, but yeah, again, the booking lets the match down. So it probably slipped down to about a 6 out of 10. The next match was CM Punk versus Fandango. More bad booking. You've got Fandango, who went from a WrestleMania triumph against Chris Jericho to jobbing to guys like CM Punk on Friday Night SmackDown, and it just... I mean, on paper, this match actually sounded pretty good. I mean, you've got CM Punk, who is the best in the world, and then you've got Fandango, who's probably one of the athleticest guys on the roster, and on paper, this match spread over two commercial breaks, but it really didn't deliver until the last 5 minutes. I mean, I couldn't get into the match. Punk won from a superplex into an Anaconda Vice, but apart from that, the match is pretty boring. I mean, he needs to get rid of Summer Rae. Her acting is so bad. She just doesn't do anything for Fandango. I mean, Fandango spends his whole time dancing in the ring when he could be a proper competitor. I mean, you've got a young guy who is supposedly Mr. McMahon's project, who has now turned into a jobber since defeating Chris Jericho, one of the biggest faces in the company at WrestleMania, who has turned into putting over CM Punk for CM Punk's match against Brock Lesnar. So I feel sorry for Fandango. He's turned into a jobber, which is so bad, but this match was okay for the last, 2 minutes? I'll probably give it like a 7 out of 10, but yeah, again, the booking is awful. This whole show was pretty bad, but AJ Lee defeated Caitlyn because Layla stopped Caitlyn from bringing... Caitlyn was going to go for a move against the barricade, and then Layla just stood in the way, put her arms out, and didn't let her do it, and AJ won with the Black Widow. I mean, how she got that Black Widow in was pretty good, but Why did they bother setting up this feud between AJ Lee and Caitlyn through the last 2 weeks when it's not going to go anywhere? Like, it looks like they're going to go for a feud between Layla and Caitlyn now at SummerSlam, and possibly the Divas champion AJ Lee is not even going to get on the card. Yeah, what is the point in that? Like, Layla, the crowd do not get behind her. Caitlyn, she was in her hometown of Texas. The crowd didn't get behind her. They needed to use Layla to get the crowd behind her, yet the crowd did not care about this match whatsoever. And then you had Layla turn on Caitlyn and walk out with AJ Lee, which was possibly the worst acting I have ever seen. So it looks like they're setting up a feud between Layla and Caitlyn 2 weeks away from SummerSlam. Nice timing to set up a feud, isn't it? Layla, nobody gets behind Layla. She hasn't had in-ring time she hasn't been in the ring for about 3 months. And they're thinking about setting up a feud, making a heel turn. It's nice to see that maybe if she takes that heel turn, she's going to get more TV time. But there's people like Cameron and Naomi who haven't hardly had any TV time, and now you've got the veteran Layla setting up a feud between Caitlyn, who hasn't been in the ring for about 3 months, something ridiculous like that, who's now going to start a feud with Caitlyn 2 weeks before SummerSlam. If they do a triple threat match, I doubt they will do that because AJ Lee walks off with Layla. I have no idea what they were doing here. Just terrible booking. I mean, I don't understand why this match even went ahead. Like, was it to make AJ Lee look good? But she's defeated her 3 times already. I mean, it kind of makes it completely pointless. Like, we're wasting our time watching this match because it's not gonna materialize into anything. It's not gonna materialize into a new feud at SummerSlam, the 3rd match between them. But maybe it was the spark between a Caitlyn and Layla feud. But nobody cares because she hasn't been in the ring for 3 months. So what is the point? So for this match, I'll probably give it, what, 6 out of 10. The match itself is kind of entertaining. How that finish that AJ Lee does is really, really good, how she got it in, but I'm so confused why they did this match. Now, Booker T came out and talked about how it was Booker T Day in Houston. It was actually a Raw recap I saw whilst this was happening, so I just skipped that. But I don't know why they did that. The whole show was complete bogus and didn't mean anything. Except the next match, which was freaking awesome. It was Christian versus Rob Van Dam versus Randy Orton. This match was fucking awesome. Now, they brought these guys out at the start of the show when Vicky Guerrero announced this match. Randy Orton and Rob Van Dam got an amazing pop. And then Christian came out. They had to use fake sounds for the crowd for when Christian came out. And then they gave the win to Christian. Hello, Rob Van Dam, who got probably the biggest pop of the night, jobs the Christian and Randy Orton. Well, not really jobs, but Christian, Captain Charisma. He's done nothing. Well, sorry, he's done everything, but he can't do anything else because he's done everything. He's got nothing else to prove. He should spend his whole time putting over guys. Instead, he's now tossed into the world title picture straight away. Yeah, Randy Orton wasn't going to win because he's not going to have a title match when he's mixed up with the WWE Championship. But Rob Van Dam got such a pop when he came out tonight. Yet they're going to choose one and only Christian, who gets no pop. He's done everything. He's got nothing else to prove. He's boring. And now we've got a match between Christian and Del Rio, who we're expected to get behind this match, when they both get no reaction from the crowd. The crowd is going to be so dead for this match. Nobody's going to care about it. I mean, Del Rio needs to lose this championship. But if Christian wins this championship, then you've got Del Rio facing Christian yet again. And then you've got Christian with the title who gets no pop whatsoever. Come on. This is going to be the worst match of SummerSlam. If Christian wins, he still gets no pop. And then you've got another match between Del Rio in the title picture, who we're getting bored of. But if Del Rio wins, we've still got him as the World Heavyweight Champion. And then Rob Van Dam put on one of the best matches I've seen all week. But oh, he's just shoved to the side. Don't worry, we'll think of it. We'll think something to do with him later. He was freaking awesome. He went for the Rolling Thunder. And then Randy Orton went for the Scoop Slam, which is amazing. That was so good. Rob Van Dam went for the springboard. Randy Orton gave a drop kick. Freaking awesome. Where was Christian in this? Christian got like no offense in this match. And yet again, they felt the need to go for the roll-up pin. I mean, Randy Orton RKO'd Rob Van Dam. And then it was Randy Orton standing with Christian. And they were like, oh, great idea to make Christian get Randy Orton to put over Christian. You know? Go for the roll-up pin. Great idea. I don't understand why they didn't just go for the kill switch. But roll-up pin? Great idea. You know, ruin a great match with a meaningless victory by Christian, who we're expected to get over, who we're expected to react for when he goes out and faces Alberto Del Rio. No! This match was 8 out of 10. I loved it. But the ending, if we're expected to get over, we're expected to get behind, Christian, and he gets a roll-up victory and then shakes hands with Randy Orton. How are we supposed to get behind Christian like that? It just seems so lame, and this SmackDown sucked. It really sucked. Lame building for the World Heavyweight title. No build for the Divas title. Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro have turned into jobbers. Cody Rhodes gets a roll-up victory. The CM Punk and Fandango match was given way too much time and meant nothing, because Fandango's not experienced, so it does nothing for CM Punk, and Fandango's now turned into a jobber. Nice one. Clap, clap. The only good match was Sin Cara versus Big E Langston. Except the crowd just couldn't get behind the match at all. So, all in all, this show sucked. You know? 5 out of 10. And that's been nice. So, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. This show sucked. Don't even bother watching it if you don't normally watch SmackDown, except for the last match. But don't be disappointed when you see the terrible roll-up pin ending. Does nothing for Christian whatsoever. Yes, I mean, I suppose it kind of shows that Randy Orton wasn't really beaten. But then it shows Christian didn't really beat him. You know, you've got two ends of the coin, really. I mean, you can see it in that aspect. You can also see it in that aspect. But I really think Christian needed to win with a clean victory here, guys. Which he didn't. We're expected to get... Oh, I can't even be bothered to talk about this terrible show. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. And subscribe, because we've now hit 500 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And I'll be doing a dance video like I always do. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.